This is the Engage Life. Hey, welcome back to the Engage Life. And I know that I hate the word podcast, but I don't know what else to call it. So that's what it is. It's a show. It's an experience. It's a conversation. It's overhyped. It's all those things, but it's worth it at the end of the day for you to take 9 minutes out of your life and journey with us. Today, we want to talk about actually something that you posted about on your Instagram, and I thought it was absolutely incredible. And I think it's a major thing that we deal with. I know we work with a lot of young couples getting married, and we always talk about like expectations and assumptions and how it's actually often the seat of a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
Like a lot of problems come out of expectations because we make a whole bunch of assumptions based on our expectations, and then they don't get met, and then we get angry, but really it's like a communication gap.
Yeah, it's the biggest breakdown.
Absolutely. It's a huge breakdown. And so you were talking about on your Instagram the idea of expectation, and what do you do when your life, you've got this series of expectations of how something should play out. In our case, we were away for a weekend. I was guest speaking at a church. Kids got sick. Des couldn't come. It's just kind of, we had a great time up until that point, but then it kind of put a damper on things. It's a little something that you're literally having a great, incredible weekend.
Yeah.
And then it had the power to ruin it in our minds.
Potentially, yeah.
Potentially, if we didn't course correct. So talk to me, Desiree, about expectations. This is something actually that I've been thinking about and working through for a long time. And this weekend was just kind of finally one of those aha moments for me, because I think we do. I think we love to think ahead and plan ahead and be excited about things, and we place expectations on people, on events, and sometimes those expectations cause us to be disappointed if they're not met. You know, for us this weekend, I had an idea in my head about what it would look like, and the fun we would have with our family together and with the kids, and then being present with you. Visiting another church as you had the opportunity to speak and to share. And, that kind of got derailed in a really fast way. And how often does that happen? More often than I would like to admit. What is my attitude post having those moments, and how do I respond, and what does it do to my heart and to my mind, and how does it affect other people when I respond to those situations? So I would say for myself, the last 6 months to a year, I feel like this is actually something the Lord's been working in my heart on. And it's that when we place expectations on things, if all of our hope is in that expectation, and if everything is buried and built around an expectation, when it's not met, we're going to be disappointed. Right.
But that's not what my hope is supposed to be in. And I need to just keep my expectations in check, knowing that things are subject to change, or maybe my expectations are not healthy. Maybe my expectations just aren't what they should be, or maybe I just have to learn to be able to roll a little bit better with the punches, knowing that just because my expectation isn't met, or I am disappointed, which is valid disappointment. It's very real, and it's okay to feel disappointed. But what am I going to do with that? Am I going to let that bury me? Am I going to wallow in it, which I'm a real good wallower?
Who isn't?
Am I going to...
What's your favorite bottle of Pringles?
Yeah, Pringles. Pringles solves all.
Barbecue?
Yeah, barbecue. Yeah, am I going to allow it to derail me to the point where I have a bad attitude? I'm reflecting that to my kids. They're going to model whatever I reflect to them. So is that what they're seeing when disappointment hits? Ultimately, if we think about that even deeper, am I placing expectations on the Lord, on how he's going to orchestrate things, or how he's going to move in my life, or, what things are going to come into fruition, or what dreams are going to be fulfilled exactly the way that I have in my mind, or that I believe it should look like? Ultimately, who am I to play God? Because
dang.
The expectation then is that I know best the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And really, I don't. So yes, it's okay to have ideas about things and expectations of things, but everything in balance, everything in moderation. So can I roll with changes, especially if those changes are, God orchestrated changes, because he does know better, and he does have
and
a
we
plan.
don't always like it.
No. Most of the time we don't, I think. But how flexible am I? And what am I modeling? And what is my reaction saying about my character? That's what I'm learning. It's all character development. That's what I'm learning.
I'm learning. I just got to let you talk, and mics will be dropped, except they're headsets. So it's
this is...
Oh, I know that Libby can make this happen.
But you know what? We're talking real faith for real life.
Yeah.
And this is
real.
My reality. This is what I've been learning. And, I'm just going to be real about it.
It's pretty this can happen on every single level of our life. Mm-hmm. Like this can happen when we're talking about our personal interactions.
Yeah.
It can happen in our relationships. I've got a certain expectation of you, and you don't meet it, and then I get upset by that. And if we're like most humans, we actually didn't communicate or articulate those expectations.
Yeah.
So then you don't meet these unspoken expectations. I get angry at you. You don't know why you're angry at me. There's a frustration level. There's an anger there just because you didn't do what I thought you should do, but I didn't tell you that I thought that you should do it.
Yeah. Messy.
Sloppy. It's sloppy. But it's also how most of us live our spiritual lives.
It's true.
God speaks to us. He speaks to us to other people. He speaks to us directly. We got a plan. We got a purpose. We got a vision. We got an idea.
Yeah.
And then we say, okay, this is how I think that this thing should work. And God, I'm going to tell you how this should work because it always ends up with us being a celebrity somehow.
Yeah, because I know better.
God, you told me I was going to write a song. So when am I releasing my gold record? And he's like, no, I told you you're going to write one song.
Let's start with that one song.
We extrapolate it into this huge thing, and then it doesn't happen, and we put all this effort and all this energy into doing something that you decided he said, though that's not what he said. Then we get angry about it. We get angry at him about it. You get angry at everyone around you about it because they're like, listen, maybe this isn't your thing. And the truth is, God said this. No, he didn't say that. You thought that that's what he said, but he was very clear. You just extrapolated it. You made some expectations of him that he didn't meet because he didn't set those expectations. You did.
Yeah.
So maybe the question is of God, of your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever.
Others, yeah.
To others, to your coworker, to your boss.
Yeah.
What's the expectation that you have of them, of somebody else, that you actually haven't communicated?
Yeah.
Because I just wonder if that's kind of the seat of some of the tension.
Yeah, I think so. And the other thing that I've been thinking a lot about, I think part of that is learning a little more about yourself. So self-awareness and taking time to think about, I have this expectation of you because maybe this is just the way that I would do it and the way I think about things and the way my brain works. But if I'm self-aware enough to think back to why am I placing this and what is it about me that believes this, and then also others' awareness. So thinking about, okay, you don't think the same way I do. Your brain works different than I do. And that's a good thing. That's why we work. That's why our marriage is better and stronger because of our differences and because we balance each other out. But you're different. You think different. You process things different and you respond different. And I have to be aware enough about myself and about you to know that, and to know that then I cannot assume that you will think the way that I think.
So good. Okay, so what did you learn today? Or what have you learned in the last 2 episodes?
Oh, goodness.
I learned that I slouch a lot.
I learned that you like to put me on the spot.
I learned that you do your best work when you're put on the spot.
Oh, no. That's dangerous.
What about you? What did you learn? Leave a message, comment, like this thing, subscribe. Thank you for watching another week of The Engaged Life. We're honored that you take 9 minutes out of your life to spend with us talking about how do we pull our faith into everyday real life and just talk about the real normal things that we all seem to go through. I want to thank you for being an excellent host, the hostess with the mostest, and all of the smart, brilliant thoughts. I want to thank Libby. You can't see her, but she's doing all the heavy lifting on this project. So thank Libby, thank Desiree, thank you, Jesus. Thanks for coffee. We'll see you next week.